Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 403. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside, I'm pretty sure it's just the lion, but he looks very tan today, Matt P Video. Matt, how are you?
I was literally just thinking the exact same thing. I don't know what happened. I haven't changed any settings. I haven't done nothing. The sun is shining here in England right now.
Not enough for you to look like you're fucking from the old ways of Essex with an orange tint.
You've been spray tanning, Matt.
It looks like it. It looks like it. You have to tell us if you have been, though. Okay. And the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, what up?
Hello.
Boys, another week is upon us. Another week is here. Another week of content. Another week of gaming. How are you? How's everyone doing?
Good. It's a busy day today, specifically as we record. Lots of things going on. Lots of trailers dropping. Lots of not Xbox related, but things.
Not Xbox related. So me and Crash don't care. Matt, on the other hand, has to cover it for his real job, and and has to worry about these sorts of things, which is hilarious. And it's been a weird week, to be honest. I played a lot of games. What I said? No. Let me rephrase that. I've played games. I've played games. I've had fun. But a lot of news has dropped that matters to the Xbox audience. So let's jump into it. If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. Head over to patreon.com/mcfixer to get the show early. Won't be early this week. Not because we didn't record it early, because of embargoes. But we'll get to that in a little bit later. Patreon producer this week is the one and only Aaron Guard. We do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Should topic of the show not be the thing that we've played? Thinking about it.
Audible.
Topic of the show: Minecraft Legends.
Now I have to make another thumbnail.
We have all played Minecraft Legends. Big thank you to Microsoft /Xbox for providing us with codes. Matt, Crush, we played it. We played it for about an hour together. It was probably about an hour, give or take. Crush, initial thoughts of Minecraft Legends.
It was a fun co-op experience. That is my initial thoughts on it.
Wow. Matt?
Fucking pretty. Who knew that they could make Minecraft look so pretty? Yeah. Really pretty.
I agree.
Go on.
We've known that they can make Minecraft that pretty for a while.
True.
Since they first did the ray tracing stuff.
Was that official though? Was that not just some kid in his bedroom made a mod? No, that was like official.
That was a mod, but it was using ray tracing.
Yeah, okay.
I just want you to know it was some kid in his bedroom, mate.
But it was.
It was a man in his mum's basement. Come on.
Right. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, like that was my kind of initial. Like, there's an opening cutscene which I know Crash really enjoyed.
Oh, Crash loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. It was amazing.
You'll have to go watch the Let's Play that's hopefully on the channel by the time you're listening to this. But yeah, like that opening cutscene is wow worthy. Like, oh my god, it's stunning. And then the game itself has those moments of like being really stunning as well. We, like you say, we played the first hour of it in co-op. I then jumped back in and had to do all that again, which I was like, oh, that seems odd to me. Why is this a thing? It's
separate campaigns, right?
It's the world. It's technically how Minecraft normally works, I assume, right?
Yeah.
It's
it's Fixer's world because he hosted it, and then when I jumped into my campaign, it's a procedurally generated world, although it felt exactly the same. Like, I'm sure outposts were in slightly different positions or whatever that we were taking over, but it felt exactly the same. And so all I've really played is the first hour twice, unfortunately. But it has potential. I am interested to jump in again. I do feel like it's one of those games where the single player experience or the co-op experience, the campaign experience, is very much a tutorial to get you into PvP.
Absolutely.
And we haven't had the chance to jump into PvP yet. And so I think that's the next step now. It's like, okay, I get the basics of this. Now let's jump into PvP and see what's up.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked what we played. I agree with Crush's settlement of it's a fun co-op experience. I don't know how much fun for me there would have been had to in that first hour, but I do agree with you. It's pretty much a glorified tutorial, to be honest with you. It's teaching you the mechanics of how to attack, how to build, how to gather resources, how to, play what Minecraft Legends is. ultimately.
Be fair to the game and to the campaign, we only played the first hour.
Yes.
And from where we got at the end of the first hour, it was very much so like all hands off at that point. It felt like.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say that the whole campaign seems like it's going to be a tutorial.
Well, I did play a little bit beyond it, and there it does start to do some interesting stuff, giving you like siege weapons essentially, and like the challenge starts to ramp up. I know we also played on like the easiest difficulty for our first hour.
Yeah,
I ramped it for beyond that, and that changed the dynamics of it a little bit. Like the way it works is you have your mob spawners, so you can spawn in your mobs, your ads, your allies, and they can attack buildings, but you can't. And so really it's your job to protect them. And I found myself with the difficulty ramped, leaving that battle a lot more so that I could go spawn more dudes, which is just not something we were doing, right? We were and flailing around.
I disagree, because there was 3 of us. I feel that we had different. We were all doing different things. I was definitely running back. I know Crash was running back to get mobs as well. You on the other hand, wasn't even with us for half of it.
No. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but Matt was completely off the battlefield, going around it. I don't want to spoil what happened, but
I haven't seen the Let's Play yet. It's been edited though. I haven't seen it yet, so it will be out by the time the embargo lifts. So you guys can watch it right now on my Xbox and Me YouTube channel if you care to see me, Matt and Crash learn the game, enjoy the opening hour and things like that, and obviously get a taste of the game for yourself if you are unsure whether to play it or not. Look, ultimately, I haven't played beyond the hour we played. It seems like a solid Game Pass game. If I'm keeping it 100, it seems like it's a good step in a direction for Game Pass. Do I think this is what Minecraft fans want? Not necessarily. Do I think this is what this is going to be a game that blows people away? Not necessarily. Do I think it's going to have an audience beyond a year from now? Not necessarily. But does it need to either? It just needs to feed me right now in me paying for my subscription service. And for that, it does that.
Yeah, and I think as well, we're probably not the target audience for this. Well, I don't know, because they're harping... Well, yeah, I was going to say, is it a younger audience that they're targeting? Is it a more casual, younger audience? But they're going so heavy on the PvP. Yeah, I kind of want to retract that already.
It for sure is like a strategy... Somebody who enjoys strategy games sort of audience, but not just strategy games. It's strategy games with co-op. Because from what we played, I don't think even in a PvP setting I would enjoy playing that game by myself. Like I think I need to be playing that game with friends.
You need a squad. Yeah. Because there is definitely that element of having different roles. Like, okay, I'm going to build, you're going to get resources, and you're going to go fight. You're going to deal with the army and.
Yeah, the fact that you can't siege just means that there's so much stuff for you to do, to be creating the units and building stuff you need to build and going out to get resources. It's just too much and a little overwhelming for you to do it as one person.
Yeah, and I think then us playing co-op through that first hour almost does a little bit of a disservice in that sense, because it didn't feel like there was too much to do, because we didn't have all the mechanics in place and all the things we could do, you know? I got to a point where I could... terraform the nether ground, so I was now able to build on it. And so take back territory, so I could build stuff closer to their bases, and juggling all of that on my own was already becoming a little bit of a hassle. Barely 20 minutes beyond what we played, and so I think there's a lot of fun to be had there with your mates. Jump in for a couple of days, and I think you'll get your sort of taste for it. And then who knows, maybe the PvP feels very different in such a way that really is compelling. And I'm excited to try out the PvP based on what we've played so far.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it as well, to be honest with you. I don't dislike the game in any way, shape, or form. It's not a bad game. It's not a me game at all either, to be honest with you. It's just interesting to see what they're doing with Minecraft, if I'm honest. It's just... This isn't exactly what I thought they would do with Minecraft. Obviously, we've had... Go on.
I was going to say, I think they deserve a huge shout out for that, to be honest. Because we've talked about it with Gears and a lot of other games that were they could expand in so many different ways, but they always stick to that one game. Minecraft has been doing that. You have Minecraft Dungeons, you have the Netflix Minecraft thing, you have this now. It's like whether or not I like some of those, at least they're taking risks with that franchise in some sort of way.
I guess that's what you can do when it's $1 billion IP.
Well, this game would end up bad. It'd probably make back the money they made.
Exactly.
And making it,
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Maybe there's something to it as well, because there's never say never. It's very unlikely to ever be like a Minecraft 2, right? Like, you just keep Minecraft going, and so like to re-engage that audience with something new and fresh, it's interesting to go way off the beaten path. But what like going back to what I was saying at the start, like it's really pretty. I actually think like the story is quite compelling as well. Like the characters are interesting, and visually it's all really engaging, whether you're in a cutscene or not. You guys disagree with that clearly, but I'm all for it. It's cutesy, it's fun, it's interesting.
The story from what we saw,
we saw more than you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the story from what we saw, it was great to watch with my friends and make jokes as stuff are happening. It is not a good story in the sense of me sitting there and paying attention. I'm not getting no return from that story.
Agreed. Okay.
I think the characters are just cute enough to be like, watch these guys fooling around for a minute.
You sure the target audience? Because you kept saying the target audience is for kids. You sure that's the case? Because everything that would be for kids, that would lend themselves to that argument, you're like, yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's great.
Confirmed here first. Matt is a big kid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously we'll talk about it more probably next week again once and we could have played online. There was ways of doing it, we didn't. And I just want to play it with a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing as well, because I know what I'm doing, so I think that'd be funnier for the content for me. So I think me and Crash are going to attempt to do a stream. Hopefully by the time this podcast out, so go check the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel, whether we are live at this moment in time while you're listening, or the VOD will be there nonetheless, or maybe it won't, we'll see, because maybe I'll convince Chris to do it on Twitch.
Ooh,
we'll see.
Moving on, boys, what's been in your box? Shut up, I'm talking. Let's talk about Resident Evil 4. I think Resident Evil 4 might be Game of the Year.
Oh, shit. Where are you up to?
I am at chapter 10.
Okay, I'm ahead of you.
What caused this change?
I don't know. Nah, ultimately, it's the same game. Like, I've gotten to be fair, that's a lie. They have made some changes in the story that, some for better, some for worse, and they've changed the order in the way certain things go, and they've changed those moments for the better. There are so it's not really spoilers. You'll know Resident Evil 4. It's I'm speaking vague enough that it's not a spoiler. I promise. Like, if I say the maze area is done 10,000 times better in this game than it is in the original, and the Ashley stuff. In terms of her character, her motivation, and her gameplay scene, is done way better in this game than it was the previous game. Overall, it's just a really, really, really good game. Like, you can see why it's one of the best games of all time, to be honest with you. Considered to be one of the best games of all time. And though I am not the biggest Resident Evil 4 fan, I am a much bigger Resident Evil 4 fan now with this game than I am the previous. I felt like the opening 6 chapters were very much getting what I was expecting, which they made a few changes, but not enough that I was like, oh, I'm really invested, I don't really care. There's a certain character that in the original game isn't around for very long, and he's still around at this moment in time in my gameplay, which I'm like, oh, I'm interested to see what happens. I'm sure I know what happens, but I just wonder how. And yeah, it would be stupid of me to sit here and argue that I love Dead Space and I love its atmosphere. Resident Evil's is just as good, if not better. It's just been built upon so much. I love the new stuff that they've done with the blue medallions, which they've always been there, but they've built upon that system. I like what they've done with the charms. They've built upon that. I like what they've done with the treasure. It feels more refined in this version. There's just lots of stuff that was in the previous game that feels 10 times better in the modern game now. And when you bring all of those pieces together, it's a really fun experience. I feel like doing the upgrades of the guns and selling the guns, you get all your money back, so you feel like you can keep swapping and changing guns whenever you want. Where I don't know if that wasn't the case in the previous games, but I never felt like it was. So I wasn't selling my guns back and stuff. I was like, these are my guns, I'm sticking with them, I've upgraded them. Where with this game, I've been through every set of pistol now, and I've decided which pistol I like the most, and I've upgraded it fully. Same thing for the shotgun. Again, we all know the TMP is a piece of shit gun. We're never using that. But did I buy it anyway to see if it was any good? Yes. Like,
I like it.
There you go. Yeah, no. But yeah, I just think it is a really, really good game. And if this is your first time experiencing Resident Evil 4, you are in for such a good treat. And I haven't even finished the game yet.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And the more I play it, the more I enjoy it. And I would love for us to do a spoiler cast or just chat offline, specifically about what is different. Because obviously I am, beyond chapter 4, probably. I had no idea what was going on. Like, beyond the lake, I was like, this is a brand new world to me. Like, I guess it's just not iconic enough beyond that point for me to know it like I know the village and like I know the lake and stuff like that. So
the other thing I want to call out is it's signposting is really good, and it's I don't know how to explain. I guess it's signposting again in dialogue where it's little things like the merchant telling you not to go beyond this point, you want to go finish off things. It's not done in a way of like video game. Like, hey, you don't go beyond this point because we're moving on. It's like, you might not want to, like, the way they explain it in the storytelling, I think is really smartly done. And there's a few moments like that where the merchant will talk to you. I don't think his voice is iconic as it previously was, but it's smart storytelling in a game that doesn't. I know you've said, Matt, like, it makes no sense for this guy just to be here. I agree with you, but he does add to the story in this game compared to what he did in the previous, which is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And like the side quests that he's essentially giving you kind of like really add to it as well and make you want to backtrack and make you want to, hear your mouse squeaking and you're like,
where's that mouse? Exactly. Well, it's the treasure system, there's so much stuff in there, you're just like, huh. Even little puzzles that I was like, oh, I clearly missed something. No, I didn't. I just needed to backtrack. I needed to get the thing and then go backtrack, and it wants you to do that, and it encourages you to do that. And it's a really, really, really smart, clever, beautiful game. I have to be honest. I'm expecting a question here from Crash, to be honest.
I got no question.
Okay, you got to play it.
I think you're appreciating the game more right now than you did last week.
Yeah.
I don't think that anything I could ask you would have changed. Like, the answer would drastically change from last week's answer. That's why I have no questions. I don't.
Still not as good as Resident Evil 2 remake.
No. Is it better than Resident Evil 5 yet? I don't think so.
Yes.
Will it be better than Resident Evil 5 remake? Who knows?
But it gives me hope that Resident Evil 5 remake could actually be good. If it ever happens. Like,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is slightly diverging from what's in your box and probably into a new story that I'm assuming is in the list, but we'll chat about it now because it's relevant. What do you think about them adding microtransactions in an update that has come that allows you to upgrade or get unique upgrades for your weapons and basically kind of speed up the game, I guess? Or, like, make the game slightly easier for you with microtransactions?
It's only in Mercenaries, right?
Nope. Main game.
So my question is, are the upgrades you get from the microtransactions unique to the microtransactions?
No.
I don't care then.
Huh. I didn't. So you can pay real money to upgrade your guns.
So when you fully upgrade your gun,
I know what you're talking about, the unique upgrades, yeah.
Then it's to purchase that ahead of time.
See, the problem we've got here, yeah, This is the problem. Let's buckle up, sit down, everybody. The problem we've got here is I'm a hypocrite. Because I disagree with it. Like, what happened to games, unlocking things in games, and that's the whole point of a game, right? Mm-hmm. In the same breath, I was the guy that bought... They did this with Resident Evil 2, where I think it was £2, and you could unlock everything. I did it. And I love Resident Evil 2 more than any game ever. So, do I agree with it? No. But in the same breath, we're a bunch of adults with disposable incomes, and some people don't have as much time as others. I don't think it's fair for me to sit here and judge people on what they spend their money on. Would I prefer it if Microsoft? Would I prefer it if Capcom didn't try to cash in on those people? Yes, but I also it's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
I think if it locked out content, like if those unique upgrades were unique to buying it, I think then you would have an issue. But like this is like
if a shotgun you bought a shotgun and now it has incendiary rounds.
Yeah, and it's not like you can't, because I think this conversation kind of goes back to, we talked about Assassin's Creed way before, where you could buy XP and stuff like that and level up faster.
That was different, though. Even that was different.
Yeah, because they also forced you towards that.
Yeah.
Like, XP's level's more of a grind, where with this, it's sort of like, I'm assuming you can beat the game without buying this.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Oh, easily.
So this is just...
Most people will absolutely do that, yeah.
So this is just a flavor option, and in that case, like I don't care. I think it's like $2.99 US, so it's not expensive.
Oh, so it is like around the £2 that I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
think,
hey,
you want it a little bit easier or something like that, or you don't want to grind out every weapon or whatever. Then cool, whatever.
I think it's that more. Is I don't want to grind out every weapon.
Yeah. And like you say, when you finish the game for the first time, maybe you'll have 2 of those. You could definitely have none of them. Maybe if you grind really hard, you could have more than that. But like, yeah, like it feels like a thing you would grind for in New Game Plus or whatever anyway. And so, and it doesn't affect anybody else's enjoyment of the game. It's not a competitive edge thing, right? Unless I guess you're speed running or something, in which case you're going to be on your New Game Plus 35 and whatever anyway. So yeah, to me it seems like an odd argument. Whether or not Capcom should be nickel and diming people for this kind of stuff, I don't know. But like,
it's cheap enough that I'm not angry, though.
Would you argue that it's nickel and diming people?
No, not because it's cheap.
I don't think it is. Yeah. I think nickel and diming people is like, hey, you have to get this to continue. The only way you can get the full upgrades is getting this or something like that.
I would say even nickel and diamond is like, it's £2 per gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Something... Wait.
It's per gun, yes.
It's per gun.
You can buy a bundle for all of them for $40. Or if you bought them all individually, it'd be $60.
Okay, now I'm upset.
Okay.
Now I'm upset.
That changes my opinion.
So did I.
No. $3 per gun.
Oh,
I don't like that.
That is nickel and diming.
I don't like that. That's nickel and dime. I don't like that.
That is. We have a question.
So hold on.
Okay, there's a question. Read it. Hold the phone.
I didn't add the story because we had a question for him. I didn't know how big of a deal it was. But the question is, I'd like to know what the panel thinks on Capcom adding microtransactions to Resident Evil 4 after launch. And the question is it an obvious cash grab?
Yes.
And I would have said no if it was $2.99 for everything. But it being as much as Matt's saying it is, like, that's a cash grab for sure.
The thing that upsets me the most about this is Capcom are in a position where they don't need to do this. And I think that's what annoys me the most, is they've released one of the biggest games of the year. They have Street Fighter coming out. Stock prices are through the roof. Why do they need to do this? And again, we've already gone over the reasons of why someone may want this. But yeah, if you £5 for every single one, cool. Maybe even $8.99, cool. Anything more than that to me is like, I see what you're doing here and I don't like it.
Even if it was like, you got multiple of them for $2.99, even if it was like, hey, get a bundle of 5 or whatever. I don't know how many guns are in the game. But something that's usable, like, oh, you can get enough to get all your favorite weapons or something like that, I think it would be fine.
There are bundle options. So basically, like, yeah, if you wanted them all, it's 40. If you want them all and you want to not get the bundle for whatever reason, it's like 60. but then there are $7 options and $10 options and $15 options that would get you, you know, a little bit more. The most cost-effective way, I guess, to do it is $40 for all the guns.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan of it either. I think I'm fine with it in theory, but once the price actually comes into it and how much they're charging people, it's like I don't like that.
The game costs The game costs $60.
Yeah.
Why am I paying $40 to get bonuses on a gun that's imaginary?
Well,
because you can't be asked to grind for it.
I think that's the answer. I think the way you're approaching it is unfair, because then you could always.
I never claimed to be fair.
No, true.
Fair.
No matter what the price is, you could essentially say like, the game is $60. Why am I paying anything for this?
Sure, but I'm putting it in my perspective. Yeah. I've just paid £60 for the game, and you are even having it there is tempting me to do it.
But
that's not their fault. That's your fault.
That's on you.
Well, no, no, it's definitely their fault because they've added it into the game. They're preying on me.
Sure.
So people who buy Ultimate Team Packs, it's not their fault. They could just grind for them. It's not their fault.
Yeah. I'm not familiar.
No, it's EA. No, it's EA being predatory.
Well,
they want to make more money, and again, it's just weird to have it in this game. Is what I'm saying to the main point, because this is not even a mode. This is the entirety of the game.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I
thought it was just mercenaries. That's what I thought it was.
The fact that it's so close to release, I think, is weird. I think if this came out in like another month or two, when the game was a little bit older, I think I'd be more fine with it.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
What if they had said, if you buy the Super Duper edition for $80 or whatever, then you get it. You get all these unlocks anyway, and then we're gonna charge the people who didn't buy the Super Edition the $40 that it cost to upgrade.
They do that?
I don't think people would kick up. I don't think people would kick off then. If it was there at launch and that was established that if you buy the Super Duper Edition, you're going to get all these upgrades off the bat. And if you don't, it's $40 extra, $40 extra. I think games do that all the time.
Yeah, but at that point, you're like selling that benefit. Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying.
It's just a timing issue.
Yeah.
Well, timing and marketing
I'm not against it in theory. Like I said, I just think the practice of how this sounds just sounds a little bit grimy and sort of like, hey, how much you guys got in your pocket? How much you guys want to give me here? You know?
Yeah, for sure. And look, I think the difference between it and Ultimate Team or whatever is that it doesn't affect anybody else's gameplay. If you come up against somebody in FIFA who spent a gajillion pounds on FIFA Ultimate Packs and they got a team full of Ronaldos, I don't know how football works, then you're going to feel hard done by. Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm just curious.
You're going to feel hard done by, and that your experience has been worsened by that. But if Fixer decides to drop $40, it doesn't affect my experience in Resident Evil whatsoever. Other than maybe him bragging that he set a zombie on fire with a shotgun.
The problem that I have, though, ultimately, is the exclusive upgrade, the weapon upgrade, feels to me it's only been designed for this reason now. It feels like it's only been designed to then make more money in the game because they knew they were adding this afterwards. That's the thing that worries me about it, is this system was built in, because I'm blasting through the game. I've got a shotgun that's all the way powered. I'm having fun. I'm playing on normal difficulty, like whatever. It just seems like a strange thing to me to add this as a paid thing. I don't know. I'm very torn. I'm very, very torn now.
How different are the gun upgrades from the original?
No, not at all. Apart from this,
I don't know.
Oh, so the unique.
They've always had like special, like they've always had like upgrade to the full and max sort of thing. There was no ticket. There was no unique ticket system in the original, though. No.
Okay. So then, I see what you're saying. So then, that comes off as grimy. I think for me, it's kind of hard because I've never played the original, and so I don't know the comparison to this one. to really like. I think
Yeah.
that's somebody who's played both.
I also haven't got any of the unique unlocks or experienced how drastically they change those weapons.
It doesn't.
Is the one you mentioned, Fix, about the shotgun being incendiary rounds? Is that an actual thing?
No, I made that up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just.
Sounds grimy. Seems grimy.
It don't sit well with me. It does not sit well with me. I have to say.
It's a confusing one. It's a confusing one.
Games like RPGs have done it where you get like a bundle of healing items and stuff like that and upgrade resources that you can buy. Like Matt said, first thing came to mind, you get the Ultimate Edition, you get a whole bunch of bundles, and they sell that separately, and people don't normally complain about it. But in this case, it seems like it's more than just that as well. Especially if, hey, this is a remake of a game and we've added this to the game and then we're going to sell it to you as well.
Here's one that I feel is comparable, Crash, and maybe up more of your alley. How would you feel if in Elden Ring you could buy upgrade materials?
I don't like it, but I think Elden Ring's also a very unique experience.
Yeah?
Well, I don't think... Oh, no, I wouldn't like it in Elden Ring. But I think that part of, like, that ruins part of the charm of Elden Ring, where it is, like, go out and explore and stuff like that. And I don't know if I was playing Resident Evil, that would be my same opinion on Resident Evil.
Sure. I don't know how I feel about, because like I could see both, like in the Elden Ring example, I could see both versions, right? In that you could argue that is like gatekeeping accessibility behind money. To be like, hey, if you're struggling right now, you could make the game easier, which is technically kind of true with the Resident Evil one as well, although you could always knock Resident Evil down to like story mode difficulty and just blast through if you wanted. So I don't know, man. It's really a weird gray area.
It really depends what the unique upgrades are. Because like the unique upgrades could be just like, hey, take this gun that doesn't feel great and you can make it feel good with the unique upgrade or whatever it is, right?
It's nothing from what I can tell, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I think like okay, I'm trying to look right now. Yeah, so you've got the Black Tau pistol, and it's increase power by 3.5%. That's one of the things.
Unique upgrade.
That's the unique upgrade. I think the other one is a recoil. Another one, I think there's a bunch of different ones that are. Yeah, ultimately, I think I've come down on I don't like it. I still don't like it. Yeah.
No, I think I'm with you. I really thought it was too.
Increase ammo capacity by two times on the striker shotgun.
Well, that's slightly more significant, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think any of those changes are like. I don't know. Those changes at the same time feel irrelevant, and sort of like, why are you charging people for these upgrades?
If I've got these right, maybe I've got it wrong. But you can get them in game. It's not like you can't not get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
How in Resi 2 remake then they did this, did they?
No. In Resi 2 remake, there was something you could buy that literally it gave you the OG skins, gave you the infinite rocket launcher, gave you the infinite first aids, which you could get in the game by unlocking it if you were obviously Resident Evil's got quite a big speedrun community, right? Like beating the game in a very quick time. Like that's the incentive for those games. But you could just get rid of all that by buying it. Right, so then you could run around using the unlimited rocket launcher the whole time, which was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did. Okay. All right. Well, let's move along because we're still in What's in That Box. Crash, what have you been playing?
I've been playing more Loop Hero.
Oh.
I just want to throw that out. I don't got anything else to add about that.
Okay.
I probably won't mention that I'm playing it again, but just to let people know a week later, I'm still playing it.
Okay.
I played Ghostwire Tokyo, which came out to Game Pass yesterday.
It did.
And I like it quite a bit. I think it is a very fun game.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it starts off slow, and it does something that I really dislike in the early levels, which is a lot of the early upgrades you get are quality of life changes, faster animations for certain things and stuff like that. That felt like if the game started as a baseline with some of those upgrades, it would feel great right out the gate, where it feels a little bit clunkier in the beginning. But once you start getting some of those upgrades, the combat feels a lot better. I like the idea of it tackling sort of the Japanese folklore with yokai and stuff like that. I think that's very cool. The story's good enough. I don't think it's anything super, super crazy. But there's enough. I have enough intrigue in what's going on in the story that I'm curious about what'll happen next and where they're going with it. I think the world is cool. I think the lighting is actually very, very good in the game. I do want to mention that I am playing it on PC, and I've heard some not so great stuff about it on Xbox, that it doesn't run amazing, which we'll have another conversation with that in a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying my time with Ghostwire Tokyo so far.
Good. Will I like it?
Would you like it? I don't think so.
It doesn't look
because
like
I
it.
don't think this is the type of game you would look for, especially from Tango Gameworks, where the whole time I was playing, I was like, I like this, and I can see where the sort of horror, creepy element that they're used to working with, where that comes in with some of the character designs and some of the animations, some of the moments in the game, but it's very much not the type of game you would normally play with.
It doesn't look like a me game at all.
Yeah.
Is it open world at all?
It is open world.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's so I'm unlocking the map little by little. So I don't know how big the map actually is. I'm on chapter 3 of 6, I think. I'm at the beginning of chapter 3.
Right.
So it is open world. So far it doesn't seem like it's a very, very big open world, because what they do is there's certain missions that'll have you go into a building, and then that building will play out as an area, and you'll complete that area.
Sure.
And so they do that a little bit. So I don't know if you add all that up, how much of a world you would have, but they do have open world nonetheless.
Cool.
That's all I've been playing. I haven't played anything else.
I just wanted to leave a gap there just for the fun of it. Matt, what have you been playing?
That's it really. Minecraft Legends, Resi. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh, Valheim. Still playing a lot of Valheim with my mates. We've gone deep
Sorry about
on
that.
Valheim. It's great.
Sorry about that.
It's brilliant.
I'm glad you're
I'm so
enjoying
sorry.
it.
I'm so
glad
sorry
you're
for your
enjoying
time.
It's great. We're having a great time.
All right, let's jump into this week's dashboard. How do I say this name? Because I was going to Google how to pronounce it, but I forgot.
Joseph Staten.
Okay. Joseph Staten is leaving Xbox. Joseph Staten has confirmed his departure from Microsoft in a tweet indicating that he will have additional details to share in the near future. Quote, "Hey folks, I am indeed leaving Microsoft," Staten wrote. "I have more information to share soon, but for now, I'd just like to thank my colleagues for all their understanding and support as I embark on a new adventure." Staten worked at Bungie on all of its Halo games and contributed to the original Destiny before joining Microsoft and Xbox Publishing in 2014. In 2020, he joined Xbox Game Studios 343 Industries as Halo Infinite's head of creative. Early this year, Staten left 343 and returned to Xbox Publishing around the same time that Microsoft cut 10,000 jobs, including developers at 343 Industries and other Xbox studios. This is a big one for the Halo community. I know I saw a few people in the My Xbox and Me Discord very upset by this. Fresh, why?
He's just had a very big role in Halo. I don't think him leaving Xbox has anything to do with Halo at this point, because he left the Halo team. So I don't think it's really that big in part, but I also think part of it is Xbox is kind of leaking talent. Because, like, what's his face? You would know his name from Tango Gameworks.
Oh, Shinji
Left.
Mikami.
Shinji Mikami left as well. And it seems like whenever they have sort of a notable name, that notable name tends to leave after a while. I think the person we've had longest is Todd from Bethesda. Who's still there, thankfully. But I think that's more so where the worry comes of another talented person leaving Xbox.
Matt, you worried about Halo?
Like the franchise in general?
Yes.
No, it's too big to fail. It's too big to fail. Like it's Xbox's tentpole. There's no way Halo disappears.
Okay, it doesn't disappear, but not too big to fail. If it was too big to fail, then the Halo TV show would have been, wow, this is amazing. 10 out of 10s. Let's get more.
Bro, we knew
of
that was
this.
bad when it was on that app that no one wants. All right, let's be real.
But that's kind of an illustrative point of what I mean, where like, if it's Halo, it can just happen. Like, it'll live forever.
I don't know if that's true. I think the reason it'll live forever isn't because it's Halo. It's because Microsoft doesn't have a whole lot to push instead of it.
At this moment in
Once
time,
Microsoft has more stuff to push instead of it,
Do you think?
let another Halo Infinite happen. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think if Xbox and Microsoft had more IPs that were big enough,
Like
yeah, Halo would take the back
Call of
burner
Duty?
if they keep-
and Skyrim, and like when all these things start Fable, all these things
Yeah.
start happening, you think
Well,
Halo's in
I
trouble?
wouldn't include Call of Duty in it because Call of Duty, as far as we know, is going to be multi-plat for a while, right?
Sure.
And if it's multi-plat, it's not, even though it's Xbox related, it's not the face of Xbox, right?
True.
You need something exclusive to be the face of Xbox. So until once after the 10 years, once the day after the 10 years when when Xbox comes out and says we're announcing our first exclusive Call of Duty, that's when Halo views, that's when it changes for that, you know.
Maybe. I think like we've talked about how we don't think Xbox is great at pushing its stuff at the moment, whether that's Game Pass or tentpole titles. I would be shocked if there isn't some huge plan with Call of Duty to make people think of Call of Duty as an Xbox title in the same way
maps
Destiny
and
pulled it
marketing.
off.
Well, not maps as in like back in the day maps, but it'll be marketing and it'll be beta first and it'll be all that stuff is gonna when we get this it's not like PlayStation. You're gonna have you've got to think. Look at every ad like on Twitch, YouTube, cinemas, things like that. They're finally gonna have a tentpole title that the casual cares about again. The casual doesn't care about Halo.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we've constantly like critiqued Xbox for like poor advertisement in general. And then what happened? They're trying to get the deal to go through the 10-year deal. They put out a 2-page ad
in the newspaper.
Guys.
Yep.
And then recently they started putting digital ads in like your elevators and stuff like that as well. And what's at the front of it? Call of Duty available to 10 million more players or whatever the case is. I forgot what the wording is.
Yeah,
I think it was 150 million more
150
players. I don't know
million.
where the fuck they're pulling these numbers from. It's
Which is like,
wild.
that's what you're going to advertise all this time. You've had all these other games. They're going to go and advertise for that. So I think you're right. I think once they get Call of Duty, that's where you'll see a lot of advertisement going towards that. Even though it's not an exclusive, you will see an exorbitant amount of advertisement into that.
And I think that will have a knock-on effect across the board because they'll see that do well, and then they'll go, "Oh, why have we not been doing this with insert game title here?"
I don't know if it'll have a knock-on effect.
No, it will on the big tentpole titles. I think it will.
I don't think so.
What are the other big tentpole titles that you're thinking of when you say that?
Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
But I think Elder Scrolls would get advertisements no matter what.
From Bethesda. Yes.
Yeah.
From okay, but Bethesda's Xbox.
Yeah, but that's my point. They have to now get it right because they have big. I wouldn't say Xbox other than Halo, Gears, Forza, right? And they do well with the marketing of Forza because they always got a car and an exclusive deal. It's in some magazine. They don't have to do that well. I don't think Gears has been marketed well, really, outside of like to core gamers like me and you.
I think Gears of War 4, from what I recall, had good marketing. Because Gears of War 4 was the one that had the song attached to the trailer and whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
That had good marketing. Gears 5. But Gears 5, I don't even think the issue is Gears 5. I think that's when Microsoft was sort of like, marketing for our games isn't it. We're going to just focus on Game Pass.
Yeah, no, I agree.
To be fair, I am getting a lot of Redfall stuff showing up on my YouTube. So
we'll get to Redfall.
Okay.
I do want to echo Matt's statement for a second. Redfall does seem to be getting a good amount of ads, to be fair.
Why?
Because it's 30 frames per second.
No. On the rule. Like, why? Why do you think that is?
because they need the game to perform well. It's their next big game.
Bethesda.
But I don't feel like I've seen the same about Starfield. I don't feel like
because Starfield ain't here yet. We ain't here yet. We ain't there yet. We're not ready for that. That's a couple. It's a month to a couple of weeks out when you start getting all these ads. The Bethesda titles so far have done good ads. It's the Xbox Minecraft Legends is out. Anyone listening is out. What marketing you saying?
That's a good point.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. But like
Hi-Fi Rush only had good marketing. It don't matter. It's YouTube ads, it's Twitch ads, it's Minecraft, it's cinemas, I've been to cinema a few times now, I've got a cinema pass again. We'll talk about Mario in a second. They don't advertise well, Xbox. I don't know if it's separate with Bethesda and they're handling it differently or whatever, but Xbox own titles that is not outside Bethesda, they do not advertise them well.
I think it's unfair to conclude that Redfall's just Bethesda. That's Xbox as well.
No, 100. I'm just saying the way that it's. They still say Xbox and Bethesda, brother. I'm only saying what they're saying.
Okay.
They don't say Xbox. They say Xbox and Bethesda.
I just don't know how you advertise Minecraft Legends. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still hung up.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. In a sense, it's like, but I'm just because it's a smaller title, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's just not doing. They're not. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for an Xbox. I understand Bethesda's Xbox. Outside of Bethesda owned title to be marketed correctly.
Okay.
Interestingly, we were looking in work at what was doing well on TikTok and YouTube Shorts for Minecraft Legends. And the number 1 or 2 video was basically a guy going, "Did you guys know that a new Minecraft game was dropping in Game Pass this month?"
See?
And people being like, No, I did not know that." So
Stand by my statement.
Microsoft hired that guy. That's Microsoft.
Yeah. It was actually Phil Spencer. So
that makes sense.
All right, moving on. Microsoft gaming chief Phil Spencer, speaking of the devil, teases Keystone, the unreleased mini Xbox console. Today, Phil Spencer revealed that PC Game Pass is expanding to 40 new markets with a quick clip on YouTube. Eagle-eyed fans noticed that Spencer's shelf contained a mysterious box that looked unmistakably like Xbox Keystone. Phil Spencer has teased upcoming projects on his shelf before, and it has become something of a meme. The Keystone appears to be likely, hinting that the project is still going ahead. What do you make of this, Crash?
I don't trust nothing in that man's background no more.
Since when? Why?
I think all they wanted was a good headline, and they were like, "We need some positive buzz. Put that in the background of my next video." I think they obviously for sure know the power of Phil Spencer's background now, that whenever they want some good buzz or whatever, it's like, put something cool and unique back there. Put something that'll get some headlines buzzing for Xbox and stuff like that. I don't trust nothing in that man's background no more.
Well,
Am I wrong? Have we not already had this conversation? Didn't this happen before?
Not in the background, no. We've spoken about it still being in development and stuff.
No. The Keystone was in the background.
It was?
I'm sure it's been in the background of his video before.
Version
and he just hasn't moved it.
No, I think this is a different position in a different place. This is it's a much more prominent place because it's like top right. It's by itself. It's not like cluttered in between stuff. It is like purposeful placement. And I don't trust it at all.
Sorry, I'm sorry you don't trust it. I apologize.
I trust it.
I'll move on swiftly. Phil Spencer makes yet another 10-year pledge for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Phil Spencer announced on Twitter this morning that Xbox will be committed to a 10-year deal with UK cell phone carrier EE to bring Activision Blizzard games to its customers. EE is a UK-based cell phone network ISP. Xbox already has a partnership with EE and delivers monthly paid Xbox consoles and Game Pass deals to its customers. This appears to be lengthening.
Legally.
Thank you. Legally binding arrangement that will continue if Activision Blizzard deal goes through. Yay.
means nothing. Like this
I was gonna say, what's the point of this? Because like, there's
nothing.
already an agreement. Because at first I was like, oh, that's cool, until I read more into it. And it's like, oh, there's already agreement between it. And it's like, oh, Xbox is just like showing, like puffing out its chest now, you know.
But also you can access Xbox Cloud through any UK data provider server because of course you can. You can access it through any internet connection. Like, it means absolutely nothing. It's just them adding another brand name to their big collage of brand logos to go, look at all these deals we made.
Do you think that the 150 million people they were talking about includes this deal?
Yes.
No, all they did is they went,
how many phones
are in the world?
Yep.
Yeah. And they went, all those people now get Call of Duty.
That's hysterical.
But correct.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I mean, there's more than 150 mobile phones in the world, but
yeah, they went. That was just Nokia.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Old Nokias. The story we've all been waiting for. Redfall will launch at 30 FPS on Series X/S. Arcane Austin confirmed that Redfall will launch with a quality mode on Xbox consoles, running at 4K on the Xbox Series X and 440p on the Xbox Series S. A 60 Sorry, thank you. I don't know what I just said. A 60 FPS option will be added sometime post-launch. Redfall is currently scheduled to launch May 2nd, 2023. Yarmy, write us in. And like you can, myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up in the Discord. With Redfall launching with only a quality mode on Xbox Series X at 4K 30 FPS and S at 1440p at 30 FPS. Go around that time. With 60 FPS mode coming later date, will this hinder your choice of where you play or where you are always going to play, or where you're always going to play it on the platform of your choice? No, for me, it doesn't change the way where I was playing it. I was always playing it on PC. My console is my secondary machine now, and I will install it on both so I can switch between the two when I can and want to be bothered. This being said, actually, we'll go through that question first. Crash, where are you playing it? Where was you planning on playing it?
Playing on PC. I was playing on PC. Changes nothing for me.
Matt, where are you playing it? Where was you planning on playing it?
I was probably always going to play it on Xbox, and I will still probably play it on Xbox.
What I will say is this is absolutely dreadful from Xbox. Dreadful. You cannot, and I don't care what anybody says, you cannot be out here doing the whole most powerful console in the world bullshit like they've done multiple times now in the Series X generation and now the Series S generation. No. The Xbox One X generation and the Series X generation. Thank you.
Yeah.
And still be launching games of this magnitude, which is a big first-party game, at 30 FPS on a premium machine.
Yeah. Not having the performance mode day and date is such a weird thing.
Like...
on the Series S... Go ahead, Matt.
No, go. Carry on.
Go.
I was going to say, on the Series S, it makes sense, whatever, like, getting it to 1080p, 60 frames per second, like, whatever. But the fact that the Series X can't do 1440, 60 frames per second is just weird.
Mind-boggling.
Which makes me... I was going to say it makes me think the game has issues at 60 frames per second, but it's going to be able to run 60 frames per second on PC, so that doesn't make sense.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think all of the stories that we've heard from developers coming out saying it is a pain in the arse to develop for the Series S and the Series X. They've openly said that, many developers, is clearly true. And you're one of your own first-party studios. One of your own first-party studios can't hit 60 FPS at launch in a shooter game.
But how does that stop the Series X from getting to 60 frames per second?
I don't know.
It is an odd move. I think that, a few things have been brought up, namely that all of the promotion has been at 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Like all the marketing and stuff.
Whenever Xbox says the statement, the best place to play our games, it is now no longer a reference to console because that is not true.
Yep. Yeah,
It's not. Your Xbox is not the best place to play your games. Buy a PC or stream it, Which I mean, streaming it, I don't think will be 60 frames per second. It's gonna be 30 frames because it runs on Xboxes.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
it's just this odd situation that just doesn't make sense. And I know I've seen some people talk about delaying the game, especially because they have the removing online as well. They'll always need to be online, which is coming at a later date. And release it with both those at the same time. I don't think you can delay this game at this point, if I'm gonna be 100% honest.
It's too late now.
We're too close to the wire.
But they've known about this.
This is a case where I think a little bit more transparency would be nice, where they're like, X, Y, and Z is why we can't hit this, and it would take a delay for this to hit, and we don't want to delay the game, whatever. Just a little bit more transparency.
I agree.
Because making games is difficult. We know that. We've talked about that. So like, it's reasonable for a developer not to be able to hit the benchmarks people want, but at least be open with us as to not the full breakdown, but some light version of why and whatnot.
Yeah. Do you think that the PC version of this is plagued by issues? Like, do you think people have issues getting 60 FPS on PC now? Is this a red flag?
I think it depends on what you're running on. I think some of the PCs that might be used to being able to hit 60 FPS in a game, but not be able to go above that, might have some issues. Whereas people could easily go up to that, probably no problem, hit 60. But a lot of people who play games on PC, they're not looking at 60 frames per second. A lot of them are looking at 120.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to hit 120, baby, not 60.
Yeah. So the question is, can they hit 120 reliably? Which is a whole different conversation, and that's
of course.
With PC, it's always a lot more complex because every PC is different and whatnot.
What I will say is 99% of you Twitter warriors are absolute liars. You're still going to play the game. Stop acting like, I'm not playing this game because it's not at 60 FPS. Stop lying. Stop lying. You're liars. I know you're a liar. Stop lying. You are entitled to be upset. If you bought an Xbox Series X, especially, I think you're entitled to be upset that this game is not launching at 60 FPS, I have to say. You charge me extra, you charge me more money for a more powerful machine, and you marketed it to me that it is going to be the most powerful machine on the market, and one of your first-party games can't hit 60 FPS. Disappointing. Yeah. I'm wrong, Xbox. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could technically start looking at every single advertisement piece for that game. The fact they showed it at 60 FPS to be a lie. Because it's not accurate. It's not an accurate representation of what Xbox fans will be playing, right?
I'm sure there's a small print somewhere.
Yeah, this is on PC or whatever,
Yeah. Or not final gameplay.
Do you think there's as much outcry if they did this the other way around and they launched with only performance mode? 60 FPS locked.
There would be as much outcry, but that would be on Xbox. Because Xbox pushed 4K as hard. Xbox pushed 4K 120 frames per second. Let's not forget that. In the beginning, Xbox was not pushing 60 frames per second 4K.
The PS5 box says 8K on it. Yeah. That means shit.
Yeah, no, I understand. But that is Xbox's, there would still be an outcry. I don't think it would be as big, but it would be on Xbox for that outcry. I think, honestly, I've said this before, we've talked about it on this podcast. Give me the lower resolution and the higher frame rates. 100%. I think that's the way to go with most
But everybody knows this. This is not like if the game comes out and doesn't have what, Matt? Hit me.
Well, no, I was going to say Emma doesn't. Emma's playing Harry Potter in quality mode at 30 FPS on the PS5.
So did Haley. So did Haley. But the point is, what I mean is Emma doesn't know the difference between 30 FPS and 60 FPS.
That's fair. If it had defaulted to performance, she would probably just be playing.
She would just be playing the game. She wouldn't even know what a mode is. She wouldn't have a clue. I'm saying, we all know this. I am a big proponent for 4K. I love 4K. I think it's very pretty. I enjoy it. Got 4K TV. Love it. We all know 60 FPS when it comes to shooters. Minimum. Crazy to me. Crazy.
So it's 30 FPS, and then my wonder and my worry is what if it dips below that in certain
It's
parts of the
going
game?
to dip below that at certain points of the
That's gonna be
game.
horrible, right?
What, you think this is going to be steady 30 FPS
No, I
throughout the
don't.
entire game? No shot. There is
Maybe.
no shot. Bro, I can't wait for the Digital Foundry video to come out.
A Digital Foundry video is gonna be like, this game's been running at 60 frames per second. They hoodwinked us.
This game's been running at 24 frames per second, and that's why it looks like sludge.
It's a cinematic masterpiece. They just wanted to make it feel like it was shot on film. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. But I'm upset.
You live it, mate. I can tell.
I'm upset. But I'm only. I've said what I had to say. I don't agree with selling people things and them not delivering on the things they're selling. And it's not like it's a big thing. It's like this probably means it should have been delayed. So delay it.
It also confuses me a little bit on what like Xbox's overall goal is right now. So we've
Nothing.
talked
Their
about
goal
it,
is
and
put
it's
stuff out on Game Pass and keep catering to their 15 million subscribers, and quality control apparently has gone out the bloody roof, and that's what it feels like to be on an Xbox platform at this point.
Yeah, it is very all over the place.
It's just
unfortunate.
wild that we live in a world today. And again, I'm sure the game's going to be really good, but we live in a world today where you get a game like Hi-Fi Rush that comes out, polished, frame rate, everything amazing, boom, boom, boom. Minecraft Legends, we spoke about it today, very good, plays very well, enjoyable experience. And then we got this, and I don't understand why.
I don't like the comparison between all those games, Fix. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because they're drastically different approaches to games.
I agree.
That this game having more trouble hitting those benchmarks makes sense.
100%. But I want to live in a world where we get premium experiences on Xbox. And once again, I'm telling you, you are not seeing PlayStation come out with a first-party title of big magnitude, and it's launching at 30 FPS as a shooter. It's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think they've had.
It's not
I don't
happening.
think they've had a first-party game come out without a 1440 60 frames per second mode in general.
It's not happening, bro. There has to be a level of quality control that goes out. There has to be. And this is, bro, we're still having the exact same conversation that we were having during the Xbox One generation, which was the 900p versus 1080p. But now it's 30 FPS versus 60 FPS.
Yeah.
On a machine that you claimed was the best machine out there. Nuts. Nuts. I don't get it. Last news story. Microsoft is experimenting with a Windows gaming handheld mode for Steam Deck-like devices? Oh, Steam Deck-like devices. Sorry. I read that wrong. Microsoft is exploring early concepts around a Windows handheld mode for devices like Steam Deck, as a leaked video posted to Twitter? Jesus, playing GTA roleplay too much. Twitter by HOXOD, who's a notorious leaker, by the way, in the Xbox community, shows some early concept and prototype work for a optimized Windows 11 UI for handhelds and a launcher and Windows gaming shell that's designed for touch controls and controllers. The video is part of a hackathon. Jesus, is that what they're calling it? A hackathon? Project inside Microsoft from September, where employees regularly presented ideas or projects that sometimes end up getting support from Microsoft executives and end up shipping. Origin Cookie Man writes in, with reports of the recent leaked prototype of a Windows gaming handheld mode for Steam Deck from an internal Microsoft hackathon event, do you guys think an improved Xbox app that lives on all devices is best for gaming? 100% yes. We need an app that has social built into it, has Game Pass built into it, and has cloud built into it. 100%. It needs to be one app, not four. Do we disagree?
No, 100%. I think one of the issues you're going to have is that Apple have like a stranglehold on how much money they take from stuff that does that and sell subscriptions within their ecosystem. And so I don't think Microsoft are willing to bend to that by the looks of things. And so,
yeah, I mean, from what's leaked, I don't think it's meant for.
It's absolutely not. No, it's absolutely not.
Yeah. But it is interesting. I think obviously it's for the best. I wonder, do they still make Windows tablets? Do you guys know?
I haven't
Interesting.
Because I wonder if something like this is designed for a Windows tablet.
Yeah.
And Game Pass on Windows tablet and whatnot and stuff like that. But I can't remember the last time I've seen a commercial or anything for Windows tablet, and I don't know if the rest of Microsoft is like Xbox, or it's like advertisements are just kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Who knows? But yes, I think absolutely Steam Deck needs better Xbox integration. It would surprise me if there haven't been many meetings about it. If there isn't a prototype app that works perfectly that they're just not allowed to release or whatever yet, or I don't know. It seems mad that it's not already a thing.
I will say Xbox's apps outside of like the console generally are not the best. Like, I'm still not a huge fan of Xbox's PC app. I don't like it works and it functions.
I agree.
But it's not
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather use Steam any day of the week because Steam just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You think we ever get a world where no, we won't. I've answered my own question, don't worry.
No,
do you think we ever get a world? I was gonna say, do we ever think we ever get a world where on Steam you'll get like a tag that's like available on Game Pass ever? But no, because they want you to buy the game, obviously.
Yeah.
The app on Samsung TV is pretty good. I mean, it is like just booted. You just booted into Game Pass on an Xbox. That's what that app is like.
The Game Pass app on Xbox I think is fine, and like when stuff do it that way, I think it's perfect. But I don't think this sounds like that's what it's going to be necessarily. And I guess that would be fine if like they gave that to. I don't know how Steam Deck works necessarily, but I think that would be fine for that.
Bro, just give me an app on Steam Deck that I can use in the Game Pass, please.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I take back what I said. I kind of got lost in my own thoughts for a second there.
Fair enough. Let's move on. Fix the sack. We only got the one question this week. It is from a Wild Yami Enters and says, does the panel have any thoughts on Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster not coming to Xbox, but is everywhere else under the sun? Fresh?
No.
Matt?
I like...
No.
Fixed. I did see some people saying like, oh, you see, this is the Final Fantasy exclusive deal or whatever.
You think it is?
No, because Crisis Core came out to Xbox.
Oh yeah.
The Crisis Core remaster. I think if that was the case, I think this was just a case of like not really going to sell that much over there. No reason to port it.
Interesting. Surely, yeah. Okay. Let's plug and get ourselves out of it. Good week this way. Chris, what you got to plug this week?
Over on YouTube, we're gonna have the gameplay for Minecraft Legends. Also, check out for a stream for Minecraft Legends. Who knows where it'll happen? If it'll happen, check out the My Xbox and Me Twitter page. For sure, you'll get any information. Still not 100% sure it's gonna be going down, but we will try and hopefully get one to you soon. But we'll see how it goes.
Matt, what you got to plug?
Fresh covered everything. What does he leave me with? Oh, I'll tell you what, you didn't cover the Discord. You should go join the Discord, because that's where all these lovely people left their questions that we picked through today. And we very much appreciate everybody in there.
You can follow me over at MCFix, so you can follow Crash at CrashNetPlays. You can follow Matt at MattPVideo. Thank you all for watching another week of My Xbox and Me. Until next time, we will love you, leave you, and see you later. Goodbye.